music. We won't talk about it.
Good afternoon. Good
Summer Madness,
afternoon.
cooling the game. Cooling the game. I say that's 1973. What do you
Yeah,
think?
about, I would say around then.
Yeah, 1973. Summer Madness, cooling the game. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Amazing Great Sports Studio. We're here with NBA Thursday, where we discuss the night before's games, and we also discuss the Western Conference. Amazing Grace Sports Network is on. It's 1 o'clock, and if it's 1 o'clock on Thursday, it's me, Clay Morris, and Eric James.
Yes,
Eric,
sir.
what do you got to tell us? What's going on in Big Bad Boston?
Cold, cold, and cold.
Well, I got to tell you, here in Naples, the palm trees are just breathing and waving nicely at me.
Yeah.
Coconuts are falling from the coconut trees.
Just don't get hit in the head. Keep on talking.
I keep on talking. You want to hit me in the head. But let's start off. Let's get it going. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Here we go. All right. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they went into Detroit to play the Detroit Pistons yesterday, and they were missing Carl Anthony Towns and 20 points. And they could have used that 20 points because they lost by 17. Maybe that 20 points would have helped them. The score of the game was 135 to 118, 135 to 118. Detroit Pistons over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Minnesota, they're having a hard time getting out of their way. They can't seem to find. And here we go again. Okay, we're going to start off. Jalen McDaniels gave him 29 minutes, had 12 points. Rudy Gobert, 32 minutes for 14 points. He only took 8 shots. Rudy Gobert, who's your second star behind Anthony Edwards, now that Carl Anthony Towns is gone, only took 8 shots. That can happen. D'Angelo Russell, he showed up today. He was 7 for 14 for 19, played 37 minutes. Austin Rivers. Austin, whatever happened to Austin? Everyone thought Austin was going to do something in this league, but he played 29 minutes and he only scored 8 points. Anthony Edwards, who has been carrying this team since Carl Anthony went out injured, had 20. But he averages 23. And it looks like most of the team was below the average. They got 42 points from the bench, but it was not enough. Let's go right over here to Detroit. One of my favorite players, Bojan Bogdanovic, played 32 minutes. He only shot the ball 15 times. He was 9 for 15, 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. He had 27 points. He averages 21, and he went over his average. So that's where you start thinking this night is going to be good. Sadiq Bey, 38 minutes, gave him 31 points. Now, Sadiq Bey usually averages 14 points a game. So when he starts kicking off, I'm sure when they got to the 20-point mark, his teammates would just say, you know what, we're just going to give you the ball, see how far this goes. And he scored 31. There was a Nerlens Noel sighting. Yes, Nerlens Noel. He's been around for a little while. He had a whole 2 points. Jaden Ivey chipped in with 18. And Killian Hayes had a decent shooting night for once, 7 for 14 for 18 points. They had 31, 36, 39 points from the bench, and that's all they needed. As they defeated, actually, they didn't even need that. Well, 135, 118. Detroit Pistons on the way up.
George, they're creeping in there. They're creeping.
They're creeping slowly.
Somebody better watch Detroit now. Better watch Detroit. Bad boys
You know what? Detroit is so far down. I don't know, but they might creep into the 10th spot if they work hard.
They're not at Houston.
Yeah, they're not Houston. Sheesh.
So long as they're not at Houston, hey, quitters never win, right?
And winners never quit. What we got, baby? What's the next? What's our next game we got going on here?
Chicago went to Washington and played the Wizards.
Woo!
Chicago lost.
Lost.
3 points, 97 and 100.
Yeah, well, DeMar DeRozan was out. They missed his 26 points. Maybe, if you just had to give him 10, they would have won that game.
Yeah, well, let's check it out. Let's see. Mr. Williams, Patrick Williams, 13 minutes for 6 points.
6 whole points.
Mr. Vucevic, Nikola Vucevic.
Come on, we need more.
39 minutes for 15 points.
15 points in 39 minutes.
Mr. Caruso, Alex Caruso, 28 minutes for 6 points.
6
Mr.
points.
Levine, Zach Levine. Zach Levine gave him 41 minutes for 38 points.
Zach finally showed up.
And Dazumo, Io Dazumo, making that $1.5 million a year. 29 minutes for 8 points. I think he played his worth.
Listen. Yeah, I mean, we like to think, you know what? I could get 8 points, and maybe we could.
For $1 million, I'll give you 8 points. Let's see their bench. They did 24 points from the bench total. They had 4 people on the bench, and 3 of the 4 played.
Yeah, they did.
No,
actually, they all played, but Andre Drummond didn't give him anything.
Right.
He didn't shoot the ball at all.
He got zeros right across the board.
Zero right across the board.
Only thing that wasn't zero was his time. Let me see. Mr. Drummond. Was his time?
He gave him 8 minutes.
Drummond?
He gave him 8 minutes.
8 minutes? He made $3 million a year. So $3 million, 8 minutes, zeros.
Zero. Yeah, I could do that.
That's pretty good, man.
That's pretty good.
I'm gonna sign up.
Yeah. I'm trying out for the NBA. Next year I'm gonna get myself in shape, and I could take up a couple of million for this.
That's it.
What we got for the Wizards here?
Wizards, we got Mr. Gibson, Taj Gibson.
Still around.
Hey, he got $1.8 million a year, so I'd stay around too. 25 minutes for 9 points.
Gotta do better than 9 points, Taj. Come on.
Kyle Kuzma. Mr. Kyle Kuzma did 38 minutes for 21 points.
21.
Mr. Corey Kispert, $3.5 million a year. 25 minutes for 6 points. And Mr. Denny Adija.
Yes, it sounds good enough to me. Adija,
35 minutes for 9 points.
Come on.
Maybe this is your brother, Monty Morris, for $9 million a year. Monty Morris, 29 minutes, 17 points.
He gave him 17. Okay, just like a Morris. He's gonna pump it in. He's gonna give you. You know what? He filled it up across the board too. He gave him 3 assists and 2 rebounds and 17 points. And he only averages 10 points. He went over his average just to make it happen.
Yeah, he made it happen. And then coming off the bench, we had Anthony Gill at $1.8 million, 23 minutes for 18 points. He did well.
Yeah, he did well.
And who else? We got
Rue Hachimura.
Rue Hachimura, 20 minutes for 10 points. But their bench was 10, 20, 38 points from the bench. And they won.
They won. They won without Bradley Beal or Kristaps Porzingis. They won without the 2 highest scorers on the team.
We gotta figure something out, man. You might have a little something going on there. They need to figure out.
Yeah, Chicago needs to figure out what's going on when the team's 2 best scorers are out and they still beat you. And they're really not that good of a team, Washington. But I mean, definitely they're a much better team with Porzingis and Bradley Beal, and they didn't even play. Well, so far the home team has won the 2 games that we have mentioned, but that stopped with the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, the Milwaukee Bucks, they pulled up into Atlanta, Georgia, and they said, hey, you know what? You guys ain't winning tonight. It didn't help that Trae Young wasn't playing either. The final score was 114-105. 114-105, Milwaukee over the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I mentioned that Trae Young didn't play. That's 27 points they could have used, but they only lost by 9. So they would have had a pretty good, because Giannis had a terrible night. Giannis, a.k.a. Zeus, played 35 minutes and only gave him 7 points.
Woo, boy.
Woo! He's averaging 31 points a game. He only gave him 7, but it didn't seem to matter because they were playing the Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young, so it didn't even matter. Brook Lopez came up and he gave him 20. Brook says, you know what? Give me 32 minutes, I'll give you 20. Jrue Holiday stepped up to the plate, 34 minutes. He gave him 27. Pat Connaughton gave him 10, and Grayson Allen. I don't know what's going on with Grayson Allen these days. He only gave him 6. 3 for 4. He only shot the ball 4 times. Um, the bench gave him 44 points. Bobby Portis 13, Jay Carter 13, Ingles and Green, and then Beauchamp gave him 8. So they gave him 44 points. Johnson's brother Theon just didn't play, as usual. So how much does he make to sit on the bench as he does? Because they won't even let him get off in the blowout.
Well,
yeah, one of these days we'll find that out. Not that it really matters. I'm just wondering how much Theonis makes. His brother. Yeah, Theonis. Antetokounmpo. While you're looking that up, I'm just going to go through the Atlanta Hawks. They got decent output from John Collins. He gave him 15. Kongwu gave them 7. But Mr. Hunter, DeAndre Hunter gave him 17. Murray gave him 14. And Mr. Holiday, and he gave him 6. All of these guys are in the negative column when it comes to the plus minus differential. Just terrible.
He makes 1.8 a year. Sit on the bench.
Well,
his brother makes 42 mil, and he make 1.8. So he does.
You know what? I couldn't do that. I couldn't sit on the bench just making 1.8 when my brother's making 42. That would piss me off. Okay, you're not gonna do me like that. Okay, you gotta kick me at least 10 million. I mean, how do I go home? How do I go home to Thanksgiving? Mom looks at me. She goes, "Hey, good thing your brother plays basketball."
Yeah, for the card. I appreciate the card.
Yes. Listen, you don't even have to give me a card. Don't give me anything, son, because you need to hold on to your nickels. Giannis, he can buy me a house, but you, Giannis, you, hold on to every nickel you get because you're gonna need it. And thank God your brother's a star, because if he wasn't,
oh my God.
But I must admit though, okay, Atlanta, I forgot Atlanta's best player. Atlanta's best player is Bogdanovich. Remember, Detroit has Bojan. Yeah. Atlanta has Bogdan. And Bogdan kicked in 22 points off the bench to make this game close, along with James Johnson. He came in and he kicked him off 12 too. So, and Fred Kaminsky gave him 13. It was 54 points from the bench. That's what kept this game close, but not close enough. Close only counts in horseshoes and horse races, and that means Atlanta lost. Next.
We got the Celtics and we got the Pelicans.
Oh, yes. The Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics, baby. That's right.
Came on down to Boston to see what it was all about without Zion. Well, Zion came, but he didn't play.
Brandon Ingram was out too. And I bet you they couldn't leave there fast enough, seeing as it's like 50, 60 degrees in New Orleans and about 20 degrees in Boston.
Well, they was on the freeze on last night. They did pretty good though. They was doing their thing, but they wasn't doing enough.
And they told the bus driver, keep it warm. We'll be back.
We'll be right back. Let's see, Mr. Najee Marshall. Mr. Najee Marshall played 37 minutes for 18 points for $1.7 million a year.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mr. Jonas. I'll let you pronounce it.
Valanciunas.
23 minutes for 13 points.
Yeah.
We have Mr. McCollum, CJ McCollum.
Christian McCollum.
Woo! 33 million a year. 33 million.
But he deserves every penny. Somebody had to score on that team.
Yeah. What do you do? 34 minutes for 38 points. He put
38 points.
You put your time in, payday's coming after a while. Mr. Murphy, Trey Murphy, gave him 34 minutes for 15 points. And Mr. Daniels.
Dyson
Daniels, 25 minutes for 7 points.
Well, there could be an improvement there.
Lots of improvement. The bench gave him 10, 19, 23 points.
23 points.
Wow.
Wow. They could have used a little bit more.
Yeah.
They played 6 players, and they got 23 points, an average of 4 points per player.
Yeah, well,
Looks like
you see your weakness right there, Pelicans. You need to
right
pull
there.
it together, buddy. Pull it
How
together.
about how about Larry Nance? He played 20 minutes and didn't score a point. Larry
Woo!
Nance Jr. Woo!
Yeah, well, he took 2 shots. He just missed. He just missed.
Just next time, Larry, just come over. If they're not going to pass you the ball, just come over half court and chuck it up.
There
All right? You got a 50-50 chance of making that.
you go. There you go. Teach him bad habits. Teach him bad habits. For the Celtics, we had Grant Williams. Mr. Grant Williams gave him 38 minutes for 9 points.
9 freaking points.
Mr. Jason Tatum, 36 minutes for 31 points.
31. That's his average.
Wolford, 31 minutes for 14 points. Mr. Derek White, Derek White, 30 minutes for 5 points. And Mr. Jaylen Brown, 35 minutes for 41 points. I didn't realize Jaylen made more money than Tatum.
What? What? You're kidding me.
Slightly.
Jaylen Brown makes more money? Well, wow.
Jaylen makes 28.7. Tatum makes 28.1.
Well, they got those guys cheap.
Yeah, the whole.
They got those guys.
You look at these rosters, man. These owners are saving a lot of money. I don't know why. They sure make billions.
Well,
See,
you
of
know.
course, our boy Brogdon came off the bench, 26 minutes, hit 7 for 11. He had 4 foul shots. He 20 points. And
that was it.
That's it.
That's basically it. Yep.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Brogdon gave them all they only got 25 points on the bench.
Yeah.
I don't know if these owners are, what I see is a very big disparity between what players get paid. We'll have to discuss that at another time. But like you said, there'll be somebody who makes 44, and then there'll be somebody who makes 1.8. The disparity between the players is pretty large.
And then the coaching skills have to be off the charts to get a guy sitting next to a guy. One guy's making 1.8, you pushing me to, play 41 minutes. And this dude next to me making 33 million, you know what I'm saying? And he's doing the same amount of minutes. Something wrong with that,
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're going to get a little disparity, which is what I say with, Theonis and Giannis. Thanos, might be Thanos is his name, is whatever. But he only, his brother's making X amount, but like, what is it? Like 40 times, at least 30 times more than he is.
Yeah.
You can't do me like that. And I just look so bad. Yeah. And then the family, pecking order. Here I am looking like a, whatever, a crumb. You can't do it. Trade me.
Yeah.
Okay. Indiana Pacers. They went to New York City. Yes, they did. And after they partied and went to the Copacabana and everything else, they lost 119 to 113 in Madison Square Garden. Now, the only person who was out was Miles Turner. Miles Turner was out, but everyone else played for the Indiana Pacers, and they can't seem to get any traction whatsoever. James Johnson used to be with Atlanta Hawks. He's been around for about at least 25 years. He was out there. He gave you 13 minutes and no points. Jalen Smith, 25. He's a young guy. He was out there. He gave you 7 points in 25 minutes. Andrew Nebhard, the guy who hit that 3-pointer over LeBron, but has been noticeably missing in action, even though he's out on the floor, played 34 minutes and gave you 11 points. Tyrese Halliburton, usually he's the top scorer, he's averaging 20, but he left on crutches. He got hurt during the game with his knee. 6 for 12, gave you 15. And Buddy Hyde, there was a Buddy Hyde sighting, finally. He had 31 points, and he's averaging 18. So he went over that, but it was not enough. Because the New York Knicks, that's right, the New York Knicks decided to play a game. Julius Randle, he's been steady this year. I'd like to see, we get into these hypotheticals. Who would you want? Julius Randle really plays a good game. And he only had 14 points, but he's averaging 24. 5 for 12. He didn't shoot that much. Um, 16 rebounds. Okay. 16 rebounds. So he got 16 rebounds, 13 on the defensive end, 3 on the offense. If you just getting the ball, if his shot's not falling, he impacts the game in other ways. 13 rebounds, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and didn't even shoot the ball but 12 times. Mitchell Robinson, 3 for 4, 10 points. Jalen Brunson, this guy can't seem to stop throwing the ball in the hoop. I think he had 40 the other night, 44. Then he had 30. Now he has 34. Played 42 minutes. He said, Coach, leave me in. I'm on a streak. I'm on a roll. 34 minutes, 9 for 9 from the free throw line, 11 for 20. Now 20 shots, okay, but probably winning the flow of the game, so it's really not that much. RJ Barrett gave him 27, so he kicked it in. He was 9 for 23, not as good as Jalen Brunson, 9 for 23, and Quentin Grimes was 6 for 11 for 18 points. They got 16 points from the bench, but nobody cares because 16 points between 4 guys is not that much. Nobody did too much, that much, whatever. Isaiah Emmanuel quickly had 11. The other 3 divvied up 5 points. There you go, New York. New York, New York.
They're trying to make a little noise. Next, we have San Antonio went away to Memphis to play the Grizzlies, and San Antonio Spurs lost.
Yes, they should.
They lost. Let's see
what
San Antonio got going on.
Not much.
Mr. Jeremy Sachin, 29 minutes for 11 points. Mr.
Yep.
At $5 million a year, got 11 points.
Jeremy.
Mr. Keldon Johnson, 35 minutes for 24 points. Mr. Johnson.
Keldon is carrying that team.
$3.8 million a year. That's all right.
Yeah.
Mr. Polite, Jacob Polite, gave him 26 minutes for 17 points. Mr. Trey Jones, 30 minutes, 22 points. Mr. Langford.
Romeo Langford,
18 minutes for 3 points. Let's see who came off the bench.
They got some bench points.
Doug Dermott, 15 points, 24 minutes. Mr. Zach Collins, 22 minutes, 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Mr. Josh Richardson gave him 12 points for 23 minutes. I think the bitch did 19, 23 points.
52 points. They got 52 points from the bench. Can you believe that? Yeah. And lost.
Well, we stay. They're on the upside. They're moving on up.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not moving on up anywhere.
In the scoring department, they scored 129 points, brother. They
okay.
Didn't enough to win, but they scored 129 points.
We go back to this thing again.
Yeah.
Who won the championships? Was it Brady or was it Belichick? Was it Popovich or was it Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili? Obviously, it's the players because you take the players away, and these coaches are dead in the water. That's Greg Popovich right out there. So, Mr. Greg Genius Popovich, one of the greatest coaches, he's getting his hat handed to him every game. But I digress. I'm sorry. Sorry about
Memphis Grizzlies. That's what the Memphis did. Mr. Jackson, Jaren Jackson gave him 27 minutes for 21 points. Mr. Dylan Brooks, 26 minutes, 7 points. Mr. Steven Adams, 33 minutes, 11 points. Mr. Jay Morant. 32 minutes, 38 points, my man.
Woo!
And Mr. Bain, Desmond Bain, gave him 30 minutes for 18 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, their bench gave him, let's see, Mr. Jones, Tyus Jones,
Tyus.
Bench 18 minutes for 16 points.
Yes, he did.
And everybody else sprinkled a little bit of love, and they won the game.
And they won the game.
135 to 129.
You gotta love it. Memphis is hanging in there. Hanging in there. They're hanging in there right now. Let's see. Bada boom. Memphis. They're number two. Number two in the West.
And they
So
have
they're doing
they have four people on their roster with double digits on their salary. They got plenty of money to spend.
Well, it depends on how much they're spending in the double digits. Maybe they're not.
No. They're not spending much. Their highest paid is 13. It's 13 million.
Well, and this is, and I hate to,
Doug McDermott,
yeah,
13 million.
The Celtics are doing it right, and obviously Memphis is doing it right. They go out and they buy these. I don't even. The Lakers aren't even on here, but we'll mention them. You looked at their pay schedule. You looked at it, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And nobody complains that. Okay, listen, you're taking so much of whatever the cap is, whatever these guys could play, that the rest of these guys are forced to make 1.8 million.
Yeah.
And you expect them to give you 100%. If they're giving you 100%, you should have, since you're making, 15 times more, you should be giving, 115 times more of 100%, whatever that is. You should be killing it, dude. But they don't do that. They just get out there and they jack the ball up. Moving on. Speaking of how the mighty have fallen, let's move on to the Phoenix Suns. Land of the rising sun. If you know, that's Japan. Well, Phoenix is a setting sun right now. Devin Booker's out with his 28 points. Chris Paul is out with his 13 points. And DeAndre Ayton is out with his 18 points. And that means Phoenix loses. They went to Denver and they lost 126 to 97. That's right. 126 to 97, which means they got beat by 29 points. And I can bet you that the Denver kind of let them crawl back into the game in the fourth quarter. They probably were down by 30 and 40 points sometime during the game. But let's move on. Phoenix started Dario Saric. Now, Dario Saric's been around in the league. There was a Dario Saric sighting last night with the 3 stars out. Dario came off the bench, which is where he usually is, and he gave him 11 points. And his plus-minus differential was a minus 31. So when Dario was out there, the other team outscored Phoenix by 31 points. But that's not bad because it keeps going. Everybody in the starting 5 was a minus. Wow. I'm not even going to mention their points. I'm just going to mention their minus. Torrey Craig was a minus 23. Mikal Bridges was a minus 20. Bismack Biyombo, who we haven't seen in so long. Another guy who's been riding the bench quite comfortably, even has a pillow out there to keep him comfortable. He was out there. They pushed him out there, and he gave him a minus 31 in the plus differential. But Dwayne Washington topped them all. Yes, Dwayne was 3 for 14. He had the worst shooting of them all. 3 for 14, 1 for 6 in the 3-point line. Just look at it this way, Dwayne. It can only get better. He was a minus 33. A minus 33 in the plus-minus column. And the bench gave him 51 points. So the bench scored more than the starters. The bench gave him 51 points. I guess we should note them for that. What do we have here? Jock Landell. My man, Jock Landell. With a name like Jock, you knew he was going to play sports. That's my son, Jock. Oh, yeah, he's going to be playing some sports. Baseball, football, or basketball. He gave him 11. Okogie gave him 14. And Mr. Lee gave him 11. So that pulled it up for him. Oh, we should go to the Nuggets. So busy having fun with the Suns, I forgot the Nuggets. The Nuggets. They scored 126 points. But Aaron Gordon. Now, Aaron used to be with Orlando, the Magic. And I thought he was going to be a 20-point scorer every year, but he never turned out to be that way. He's still with the Nuggets, and it's still not happening. But He gave him 17, 24. They didn't play that many minutes. They were so far ahead, they started resting the starters early. Eric Gordon played 24, gave him 12 points. No, yeah, he gave him 12. Michael Porter Jr., 23 minutes, gave him 11. Jokic, that's the guy, the MVP, Nikola Jokic. They call him the Joker. 10 for 15, 28 points, 21 points. 10 for 15, yeah, 21 points. Jamal Murray, 16 points. And Kentavious Caldwell Pope, he was out there for 27 minutes. He gave him 15. Off the bench, they got 41 points. They really just coasted. Yeah, they just coasted. 21 points from Bones Highland. And I'm going to have to see this guy. There's a guy on the bench named Bones Highland, 7 for 12, and just roasted the team. He got 21 points. 5 for 7 for the three-point line. He was jacking it up. So I think Bones Highland is making a play. He wants to play more. Let's get him out there.
He's 6'2", 169 pounds from Virginia.
I think that's the reason why they call him Bones.
Yeah. Hey, just to note, Mr. Westbrook makes more money than LeBron.
That's right. Who makes more money than Anthony Davis?
Who makes more than Anthony Davis? You know, Anthony Davis is the lower.
The lowest of the three. The most important guy on that team, Anthony Davis, is the lowest paid.
That's why they shouldn't get so much money. It's just way too much money out there, and I don't know.
I don't know who thought it was prudent to pay Westbrook that amount of money. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Was it Washington when Washington signed, or was it Houston? Because he was with Houston before he went to Washington. But I don't know.
They had to eat that contract, whatever it was already.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea. Wow. I mean, we all knew Westbrook. He's not that guy. He was never that guy. Kevin Durant was that guy.
Come on.
He was never that guy.
That's where he kept the ball all the time. He would never pass.
That's my point. He shot the ball like he was that guy, but he was not that guy. Somebody and no one's supposed to tell him this because it's going to hurt his feelings to call him Mr. Westbrook, even though Mr. Westbrook. I can't believe people are calling me that. My family hears me get called West. They probably call you Mr. Westbrook when you're not looking. There's nobody who's watched NBA basketball for 10 years doesn't know that Russell throws up a lot of hard shots. A lot of them.
Without even his process of shooting is just random, you know.
I feel like it. I'm shooting it.
Gone.
You know, I don't need to get to a spot. You know how the good shooters get to a spot. They got their spot. They get you on that spot like Tatum does, and DeMar DeRozan, Donovan Mitchell. They get you. Actually, Donovan can take you anywhere, but the other ones, they get you to a spot. The veterans get you to a spot, and they just manhandle it from that spot, either the left side or the right side. That's their spot. They love that spot. They get you there, and they just take you to town. Yeah. Russell feels like he can shoot in anywhere.
There's no spot.
No spot.
No spot.
After all these years, he hasn't figured out where his spot is.
Oh, God. All right, last game of the evening was Houston Rockets went to Sacramento to play the Sacramento Kings and all the rain down there. And Rockets got flooded out.
Yes, they should.
115 to 135.
Did they score 15? I thought it was 111.
Yes, 115 to 135.
115, yeah, 115.
Let's see. Mr. Jabari Smith Jr., 28 minutes for 8 points. Mr. Singog, Alperen Singog, 28 minutes for 10 points. Mr. Erick Gordon, 28 minutes, 6 of 12.
Oh, Erick Gordon.
Erick Gordon, 19 points.
He gave him 19, yeah. 19. Yeah.
Mr. Kevin Porter Jr. Gave him 10 minutes for 5 points. And Mr. Jalen Green, 39 minutes. He had 9 of 25 for 26 points.
9 of 25. They should have pulled him off that damn. He's three for 12 from the 3-point line. Hey,
Hey,
come on, sub. Get that sub in there. Get that sub in there.
Kenya Martin came in there. Kenya Martin Jr. gave him 27 minutes for 21 points.
9 for 13. Now that's shooting.
Yeah, he did pretty good. Yeah, so,
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Sacramento. Zabonis. Mr. Zabonis.
Domitas.
Demetas Zabonis. 38 minutes, 25 points. He had 9 of 12. He almost hit all his shots.
Yeah.
Mr. Barnes, Harrison Barnes, 33 minutes, 5 of 10, 3 of 7 3-pointers, 3 of 3 foul shots. Okay. 16 points. Mr. Murray, Keegan Murray, 34 minutes
Yeah.
for 16 points. Mr. Fox, De'Aaron Fox, 32 minutes for 24 points. Mr. Davis, Mr. Terrence Davis,
Terrence Davis.
23 minutes for 6 points. And
Yeah, he's
let's
got to do a
see.
little bit better than that.
Yeah, they need a help. And Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles gave him 21 minutes for 20 points. Everybody else kind of just hung around.
Just hung around.
Yeah,
Malik Monk
they had
gave
a
him
full
11
bench.
points.
They had a full
Yeah,
bench.
they played it too. Yeah.
Yeah. They
They
won
played them too.
135 to 115.
Beating by 20 points. Now, I got to ask a question here. Now, we've been going through these things and all the time. We always get this. Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., so and so Jr. Do these people not know that their father doesn't play in the league?
So they don't need to know they're a junior?
Yeah, we don't need to know. Where are they going with this? I mean, does anybody have okay, your father's not in the league, so there's no differentiation because he's not here. You can be just Kevin Porter or Jabari Smith
And you could be the
because
first.
right, you could be the first. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Hello? Unless your father's a deadbeat and you're scared that the creditors are going to come after you, show up at the game looking, you know? Jesus. Come on. Anyway, wow. Everyone wants to be a junior. And then we got some seniors too. The Marcus Morris Sr. Marcus, your son doesn't play in the league. Oh, but now Gary Payton, I heard Gary Payton has two sons named Gary, but I'm not going to go there.
Hey, like what's the boxer?
George Foreman, I guarantee it.
And his crew.
His crew. Everyone's a George or a Georgina or something or Georgette. I don't know. But let's get on to the Western Conference. We're having too much fun. We got the Denver Nuggets leading 28 at number one. They 21 wins, 13 losses. And the Memphis Grizzlies are tied with them at 28 wins, 13 losses. Pretty good records. Yeah. They're
almost across the board.
Yeah. 18-3 at home, 10-10 away. Denver is much better in their conference though, 21-9. I think they played more in their conference, it looks like. Denver has a 4-game winning streak and Memphis has an 8-game winning streak. So they better watch out because Memphis is coming for them.
Yeah, that could flip in a week.
It did because the New Orleans Pelicans were in the top spot last week.
Yeah.
And then Zion went down and they've been 5-5 since then. Yep. So they're number 3, the Sacramento Kings. Now, I put a check mark next to this one. Domitas Sabonis has made a big difference with this team. He was traded last year to Sacramento, but it's starting to come across this year. They're in 4th place. They're pretty far down the ladder because I think now they're just not finding themselves. De'Aaron Fox is finding out what he does well. Okay. And what he doesn't do well. And it's starting to go to what he does well now. They're 5-5, but they're a very much improved team as we saw that they beat the Houston Rockets by 20. Harrison Barnes is on that team, and Harrison Barnes has some championship DNA from Golden State. So they need to watch out for this team. If they get one more player, one more good player that's going to score 20, they're over the hump. Nobody can stop them. But we'll see what happens. What do we got from 5 on down?
You got Dallas Mavericks. They're 23-19. They're still at 500, 548. They lost their last 2 though.
Yeah.
7-3. So they're kind of falling.
They should fall.
Yeah. LA Clippers. They're 22-21. They're still in the 500 bracket. However, they're 3-7.
Yeah, and then you start going under 500. I mean, yeah, at 6.
Golden State's creeping up though.
20-21. Well, they're 5-5, but they've lost their last 3. I don't know how you say they're creeping.
Well, they did, but they were lower than that about a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, well, they're creeping backwards. They're doing the backstroke.
They're going backstroke now.
Yeah,
you better get it right. But as long as they stay in the top 10, they're all right. They fall out of that, and they might have some problems. I don't think Curry's going to be able to bring them out of that.
Yeah, they'll get out of that when Draymond Green starts scoring some points, when he finds that shooting touch again.
Yeah. Utah Jazz, 21-23. They're in the 400 bracket. They won their last 3-7. Minnesota Timberwolves, 20-22. They lost their last 1, 4-6. Dropped below 10.
Yeah. Let me take over from here. The Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, with Damian Lillard. Now, there should be some teams looking to make a trade for Damian Lillard because that team is going nowhere. The only problem is his contract is large. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But I think he's on the second stage or third stage of his career. He could be a really, 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 really good second or third option. I'm talking about really up there, really good second or third option, as long as he doesn't have to carry the team every night. I'd like to see him on the Celtics.
He's $42 million. He's $42 million.
Well, ask Portland, to pay half of it. That way they're not paying the whole full boat and get him for 21.
Jalen and Taylor and Tatum ain't having that. We in the 20s and he's at 42. He ain't coming in here.
Yeah, there's a problem with that. They're better than Damian Lillard right now. You can't bring him in on them. Then you have the Los Angeles Lakers, and we already talked about those guys. That is a mismanaged franchise if ever there is one right now. At 19-22. Actually, they're 6-4 in their last 10 games, but that's still not that great. Oklahoma City Thunder, 18-23. They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's about all they have. Right now, they have a lot of pieces, but they can't seem to put it together. They can't seem to coagulate and gel. Then we have the San Antonio Spurs with that genius, great coach, Greg Popovich. Yep, 13-20.
Time to go.
What I'm trying to remind people, especially the people up in New England, it ain't the doggone coach, darn it. It's the player. When you had a Tim Duncan, I remember San Antonio when they had David Robinson and Sean Elliott and those guys. Nice team, but it didn't start working until they got Tim Duncan.
But oftentimes you get a coach that's been around for a long time with a lot of old school style, and you get young guys and they just don't work together well.
I wouldn't say that. It's not the problem. The problem is you got to have a star. And Tim Duncan was that star. When you got a star, your job becomes a whole lot more easier. You start looking like a genius coach. And it was fun because I remember Popovich, right? He was the GM. Yeah, he was the GM. He never coached until Tim Duncan got there. When Duncan got there, he fired the coach and became the coach. You know why? That's right.
Case in point, how young is the Celtics coach?
How old is that guy? Like 35, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Young guys coaching young guys these days, man. And the old guys.
That guy ain't coaching.
Well. My point. My point.
How much did Phil Jackson coach Shaq and when they had them killer teams in LA? How much did Phil Jackson coach Michael Jordan? Yeah, and how much did Red Auerbach coach Bill Russell? That's right. It all looks a lot easier when you got that stud or a
Yeah,
couple of studs, but
couple of
if you got that main stud, you look like a genius coach. Red Auerbach was not a winner until Bill Russell came.
mm.
Mm. So all you guys who keep clinging on to Bill Belichick's whatever, let me tell you how that worked out. Okay, Bill Belichick was a loser before Brady came, and he's right back to where he was before Brady came. Now that Brady's gone, that's the same Belichick I remember. Stupid plays that happened at the end of the game to force you to lose. That's that Bill Belichick. That's the guy I remember. So sorry, guys. It was Brady who made Belichick, and Popovich. It was Tim Duncan that made you.
Well, Belichick would say, "Well, I'm really not. I'm really just not. I'm telling you that. I'm just like,
Belichick would say, poor execution. We just, we practice this. Oh, I don't even want to go into it. Just make sure. And why did the fans there take him? They ought to be writing that guy out on the next caboose. And don't even give him a first class ticket on the train. Give him that last class ticket where he's out in the cold.
He don't want to pay nobody to come to Boston.
Oh no, but he makes $20 million a year. Yeah, anyway, they deserve better. All the players who played under Belichick deserve better, and I just brought that in for no reason at all. Yes, anyway, that was NBA Thursday. Yo, this is how we do it, though. I mean, because all sports is interrelated. There's winners, there's losers.
And there's more winners than losers.
There's more winners than losers.
Quitters never win. All right?
Quitters never win, and winners never quit. Remember that, everybody. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. So stick to it. And especially to all you kids in the city, me and this gentleman with this gray beard here. Yeah. We were once kids. Yeah, we grew up right in the hood. That's right. Right in the midst of everything that was happening. And the same thing that's happening now, it was happening then. Maybe not as much because there's been a proliferation of things, but it was happening. So you have to find a way to get past all that and keep moving on. Okay? Keep going. And don't let any of these guys tell you you can't do it. You can do it.
There you go.
It's cool to be square.
It's cool to be smart. How about that? Use your smart.
Sign off.
Smart. You know better.
Be smart.
Know better, do better.
Yeah, stay away. Hey, as I used to say, stick and move. Stick and move. If you want to stay around in the hood, since you have to live there, you got to stick and move. You got to pick. Sometimes not going to fight. Not even be there. That would be the smart thing. And when you have to, you better have a plan of attack ready to go. Right then and there, quickly, fast, in a hurry. Right, have it already in your mind what you're going to do if this situation arrives. So that when it happens, you go through it just like if it was practice. So that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't even know how we got on that. But what I'm trying to say is that, remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are the most important person in sports. You're the most important person in life. Give some to get some. Love, be very gracious, and thank everybody. I don't know how many people it took to make this suit that I'm wearing or this shirt, but I'll tell you something, okay? I thank every last one of you. Thank you, everybody, for everything that I've ever had or that has ever been done for me. I appreciate it so much. You've made me the person that I am, and you've helped me become the person who has succeeded in a lot of areas in his life. And I don't say that lightly. I say that with a lot of gratitude in my throat. Anything you want to add there?
Said it all, Chief.
All right. Well, you say goodbye to everybody. I said enough.
Amazing Grace Sports Network. Your host, Clay Morris, Erick James. Have a safe and prosperous weekend.
Safe and prosperous weekend. We'll see you guys.